Alessandro will lead us in the narration of his sports adventure. Every chapter will begin with a decisive episode, a match which can be seen as symbolic of a career that keeps providing new jewels for the collection, just as it has been in the thrilling last season. The 1994-95 championship is the first one of Lippi's era. Del Piero begins as a promise and ends it as a champion of Italy, and even more, as a true starter. The team's brand new number 10, the justified heir to Roberto Baggio. Alex plays 28 matches, scores 8 goals in the championship, and offers numerous demonstrations of his talent, like in the match at the Olympic Stadium versus Lazio, a match in which, along with the match versus Fiorentina, his dazzling performance is a sure sign that a new era of triumphs is beginning for Torino.
Intanto prova e trova un gol incredibile la Juventus, un gol fantastico con Del Piero, si porta avanti il pallone con il petto, resiste alla carica di Winter da terra, Del Piero in scivolata, un gran gol, il gol dell'1-1. Con uno slalom in area, un gol fantascientifico. Signori, Del Piero, un giocatore straordinario. L'Italia ha trovato un grande campione.
Apart from Alex's extraordinary recoveries and great shots, there are other similarities between the first and second championships of the newly baptized Pinturicchio. Del Piero scores 8 goals in the championship, just like in the 1994-95 season. But this time, the achievement must be assessed taking into account 7 matches less. Therefore, the season is virtually perfect for the team, but not for its most representative champion, out of the game for a long period due to an injury. In this circumstance, we can already identify a feature of his personality which will highlight Alex's entire career. Never to grow too depressed in the hard times or too elated in the good times. As a child, Alessandro had described himself in a school essay as an eagle, the bird of prey with which he shares his natural killer instinct. But the man himself, both on and off the field, knows how to keep his feet on the ground. That's how we can explain the consistency of his performance, which leads him to become (1997-98) is Alessandro's golden season. In its wake, nagging questions persist, despite the badge on the t-shirt and having demonstrated, both individually and collectively, his undeniable value. But in football, examinations never end, especially for the one who is in the spotlight. Juventus' offensive capacity is a major concern. The latest revolution of the market signals the end of the philosophy of the individual force, well embodied by Vialli and later on by Vieri, in favor of the experiment of a pairing, such as that of Alex and Pippo Inzaghi. The critics are perplexed, but, as it often happens, the verdict on the field contradicts any negative predictions. They both get along well and score 39 goals, an essential contribution to winning championship number 25. Del Piero scores 21 times, and most importantly, in many matches he is virtually unstoppable, thus justifying the supporters' chorus, which breaks a market-established hierarchy. The true phenomenon is not Ronaldo, they sing at Della Alpi. The true phenomenon is ours.
Ferron si oppone. Del Piero in posizione regolare, palo esterno. Va da solo Del Piero contro 4, le finte di Del Piero che entra in area, destro. Che fortunato Del Piero che però si inserisce benissimo in area, prova! Ed è il gol del vantaggio, quello di Alex Del Piero, fortunato nel primo contatto con l'avversario, il rimpallo lo ha favorito e poi si è inserito benissimo in area di rigore, ha battuto Ferron.
In this championship, Del Piero's value finally emerges in full strength. Alex is the well-known leader of a team with a nearly perfect mechanism. Juventus number 10 is a world-class example of what being a spontaneous creator means. Class is not enough to play such a part, traditionally reserved to the nobleman. No, in today's muscular and space-restricted football, you need equal parts sacrifice, athletic capacity, and stamina, things that used to belong to another type of player. You must never surrender to the obstacles. Watching a single one of Alex's matches is enough to understand what he is made of and the strength of his game.
In panchina il numero 12.
Scelta di Del Piero che va con il destro da quella parte. Del Piero 2-1, è uno dei pochi al mondo che da lì può calciare sul palo opposto.
Piero Bonaparte needed 5,000 million lira to take Del Piero out of Padova, the team where he had started in the B division. Alex arrives in Torino in 1993, 18 years old, and with a great responsibility placed on his shoulders by both the critics and his fans. Some compare him with Paolo Rossi because of his instinct for the goal. Others with Van Basten for the intelligence of his moves. Comparisons which would intimidate anybody, but not Juve's young talent, who, with the spring team, coached by Antonello Ciucaredu, has an extraordinary year with a double hit in the championship, thanks to Torino, and in the Viareggio tournament, where they beat Fiorentina. It's the best way to create expectations in the football that counts. His stage entrance will not be forgotten. November 26, 1996. At 22 years old, Alessandro conquers the world.
Piero. Lasciato proprio da Sciala, mette al centro, ancora Bonano. Batte di Livio. Attenzione a Del Piero, rete! Rete! Alex Del Piero!
The 1995-96 Champions League is the first international trophy conquered by Alex. He stands out by making very similar goals, created from a lateral position, one after the other. Alessandro first reappears in a match of the Intertoto Cup, Juventus Rostov. A winning pass and a goal are a clear statement. He has begun a full recovery of his physical efficiency. More time will be needed to see the best Del Piero back in action, but this is only natural after an injury that could have had more serious consequences. But the simple fact is that Alex will not be denied. He carries in his DNA an endless supply of willpower.
Finta intanto di Del Piero, Inzaghi, dentro ancora per Del Piero! Cambia Davids per Zidane, subito Zidane per Del Piero, in area Del Piero e palla in rete. La Juventus pareggia con Alex Del Piero, imbeccato da Zidane. È il 28esimo della ripresa, Lazio 1, Juventus 1. Il partire, buona opportunità, c'è traversone verso il centro, arriva Del Piero, Alex Del Piero, 1-0 per la Juve. Questo è un uomo che non sbaglia mai nei momenti decisivi. Primo gol su azione per Del Piero in questo campionato. Finisce un'astinenza di oltre 560 giorni per Alex Del Piero.
The debate on the nature of football is endless. It is often discussed whether or not a game with a ball can be considered an art, and there are opposing views on this. Alessandro Del Piero is part of that select group of champions offering definitive and unmistakable answers. Pinturicchio. The nickname is that of a painter. At its essence, to be an artist on the green rectangle means inventing something unique, composing perfect and original masterpieces. In an ideal gallery of artworks created with the ball, he would represent classicism, because he scored many wonderful goals with the promise of more to come. And because it will almost certainly be said that his style marked an era, the era in which we are now living. And for those who love football, it is an era when sport has become art.